Have you ever felt buried in busy work, second guessing what to hand off, or wondering why growth still feels so darn heavy? Then this podcast is for you. Welcome to Delegate to Elevate, Get Done, where real conversations help you lead smarter, delegate better, and take more off your plate. Here's your host, me, Bonnie Shucks. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Delegate to Elevate, Get Stuff Done. I'm coming to you today with a new guest. Please meet Lisa Levy. Lisa is a business strategist, best-selling author, and founder of L Cubed Consulting. She helps leaders eliminate chaos by aligning people, process, and technology to scale with purpose. Lisa has built a thriving business and life by mastering the art of delegation, love that, and focusing on what truly moves the needle. Today, I hope she'll share with us the real story behind building a future-proof business, the lessons learned along the way, and how to get stuff done without burning out. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Bonnie. It's so great to see you today.
Same. Oh my goodness, everybody. I've just had a little chit chat with Lisa, and she's got some great little golden nuggets. That's what we call our little mic drop moments, Lisa, on this show. She's got some great golden nuggets to share with us, and we've connected on many things. So why don't we start with you telling us a little bit more about what you've done, where you've been, and where you're headed?
Absolutely. So I started my career in project management and technology, right? So organizing things and assigning people to tasks to get done is part of who I am. And so I was programmed to do this. I built my career off of that. And I was doing it inside of businesses, right? I was helping businesses grow and scale. And that led me to opportunities to have bigger impact on those businesses until I reached a point where I was battling the C-suite. And they were at odds with me constantly. And I was like, well, what are they doing? Why is this so hard? And looking at it, they were bringing in teams of consultants, and each C-level executive had a team of consultants telling them exactly what they wanted to hear. Now, let's be really honest. What one C-level executive wanted to hear did not necessarily align with the next one, and so on around the table.
Yeah.
And what it creates in most organizations that work that way are these really reinforced silos. And that just me right off.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I had what I talk about as an adult temper tantrum. It was all in my head. Nobody heard me. I was not on the floor kicking my feet and flailing my arms, but in my head, I really, really was, because I had this idea that we could do business differently. And in that moment, in the meltdown that happened exclusively inside of my head, and lots of that may have come out of my mouth in that moment,
Right.
I decided I'm going to start my own business. And that was almost 18 years ago.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
That's so cool. I can totally relate. Did my 27 years in corporate. I had those in my head moments. I supported the C-suite, so I was right there with you. And yeah, what served one did not always serve the other. And so I can completely understand where you were going there. So you became where did L Cube start? What, in operations, in strategy? Where did you start the business?
Absolutely. So L Cubed started in what I knew, which really was at that time project management.
Okay.
But there are elements that over time, over a career, and at that point I had a few years in. I had a few years in at that point.
Yeah.
Projects are notorious for failing. And projects fail for a number of reasons, but most commonly it's because the projects, the technology that's being implemented, and these are the projects that often fail,
Right.
is being implemented to a group of people who don't understand what it's there to do for them. And it's being implemented by a team of people who have this really cool piece of technology, but don't understand the people or the processes that the people operate and run. And so there's a mismatch and there's conflict that happens. And if an implementation occurs 3 months later, 6 months later, it will be seen as a failure because people don't want to use it. It's too hard. It's too this, it's too that. It doesn't make my job easier.
Right.
And so with the maturing of L Cubed over time, we started to work from a mindset that says people plus process times technology equals growth and scale, equals effectiveness, equals whatever you want it to be. It's that first part of the equation, people plus process.
Yeah.
Those two things have to be right, or the technology creates super fast bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that is where we entered and what we started doing. But over time, what I've built is a practice that we really work with the executive teams who understand that they have fantastic businesses, but they think their businesses can be better tomorrow than they are today. And they're willing to experiment, to challenge the status quo, and let us come in and work with their teams to make it all better, to make people feel
Okay.
better in their roles, to make sure that the right people are doing the right work.
Mhm.
Oftentimes we find the right people in the wrong role, and that never plays out well.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, sometimes we find people who we need to help them find another opportunity.
Yeah.
It's out there, it
It is.
happens.
Yes.
And it's best for everybody if we do that and do it well. If we take care of them and help them find the thing that is really good for them,
Mhm.
everybody wins.
Oh,
So, yes, today our alignment is very much strategic, and it is very much about building an operating system for a business that embraces experimentation, that drives forward for innovation. And innovation is not always a product or a service, it can be a new way of running the processes inside the business to
right.
make it more effective and efficient.
Mhm.
And it is about really challenging people to step into their most capable self. And now we're doing it with a tremendous amount of fun with the assistance of AI.
Yes. Fun. That is just a great word. It's fun. But have you seen people post things that say like, "Oh, this is how I'm gonna like segue into our next conversation," where people post things like an ad for AI for older people, AI for those over 40. I'm so offended by those. Where do you see, like we chatted about this, so you're okay with me going this direction. People like you and I, over 40, will say, in that workspace, like what do you encounter when you go in there and you have an older workforce? Where do you see they fit in with the AI concepts?
And so this is the consultant's answer. Well, Bonnie, it depends.
Right.
So what does it depend on? I guess is the logical thing. It depends on what we want to do with AI. So, in this day and age, when you're seeing those ads and you're seeing those positioning statements and anything that talks down to a generation at any stage, young or old, those of
Right.
us who are in the middle, who may be Gen X and like, what is Gen X? But we
Yeah.
won't even go there.
Sandwich
Um,
forgotten generation. Yes.
well, um, crazy.
Yeah.
But the AI in the business, AI is a tool. It is like any other tool that we have to learn how to interact with it. We have to use it properly. And anyone can learn how to do this. But
Mhm.
what's happening inside of businesses is many, over 90% of businesses are investing in some way, shape, or form in AI.
Mhm.
Fewer than 5% of those businesses are finding any ROI on that investment.
Mm.
And they're okay with it because they're concerned that their competitors are making that same investment and it's the race to who's going to get value out of it.
Right.
Here's my really simple answer. The value is in using it to run your business. For me, I call it a continuous improvement engine. Leveraging
Okay.
it to look at the processes that we know that we have. It's the same work my team has done for almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
Who's doing the work? What's the process? Where are the points that we can leverage technology called AI to make those processes more effective and efficient, to let people do higher level work, to let them do something else entirely? Who knows what the answer is?
Yeah.
But how and when we plug it in needs to be intentional. And that's, I think, the thing that's missing. And as we do this work with our clients, we are showing, I don't use return on investment. I talk about driving value to the business,
I like that.
increased revenue, reduced overhead, capacity gains, right? This can be significant to the dollars and cents of the business's overall health.
Yeah.
If you're not using it strategically to get those types of outputs, why are you doing it?
Exactly. You don't see any gap in the generations, do you, between in learning skills or experience levels, making it easier maybe for someone with a bit of more time under their belts?
So when we start to look at it and how and when we adopt things, we have you know, the younger generations, our Gen Zs in particular in the
Yeah.
workforce today,
Hmm.
they have really grown up with technology in hand. And so adoption is probably a little bit faster. It makes a little bit more sense. It's more natural.
Yeah.
But let's take it to the other end of the spectrum and talk about our boomers who are still in the workforce, our leading edge Gen Xers. Let's do boomers first. Let's
Yeah.
separate them.
Yeah.
The experience and knowledge that they have, and then the ability to make decisions, right? There's no panic. It's a new technology, it's a new tool. Some are going to resist it because it is natural for humans to resist change. We're wired that way.
Right.
So it becomes an organizational change management exercise to get to the what's in it for me and why do I personally, as an employee, get value out of this thing?
Yeah.
It's the same conversation we had. I'm going to do this, go back a couple of decades
Hmm.
when we introduced the mouse,
Oh, wow.
right? Let's take
Yeah.
it back. People who were working with computers in the 80s and into the 90s, everything was driven by a keyboard. You had function
Yeah.
keys and you had all of these very fancy things that you did with the keyboard,
Yeah.
and magic happened. And somebody came along with a thing that actually had a wire. Right now, this is just wireless,
Remember
plugged
those?
in, and it
Yep.
moved around. And we were telling everybody this is going to be faster and make your job more efficient. And those people who knew how to use a keyboard were like, "Oh no, it's not.
Oh, hell no.
Oh no."
Oh,
I
hell
mean,
no.
that was the answer. And
Yeah.
for them initially, it was true. But as software changed to be more interactive with the mouse and the flow of how our
Mm.
brains work in that connection, yes, software design changed. Most people today couldn't function without a mouse. We don't remember what those uh, punny function keys were
Right.
for,
Right.
and how to use them. And those who are old enough who remember that probably still do a lot of their work without the mouse. More
Probably.
power to them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They
Right.
found a way to adapt and interact, and that's what's going to happen with AI also. But as we get to a point where AI becomes really more of a partner with us,
Mhm.
excuse me,
It's okay.
we are going to have so much more fun. My personal AI bot that supports me, I have a voice interaction with it, and I talk to it throughout the day,
Yep.
and it helps me with my content. It helps me positioning how I'm building proposals for clients. It has
Mhm.
access to 18 years worth of my body of work that with the consulting company. And when I go and pull up, I want to put a bid together for a client and describe the environment and what's going on. It will give me the first draft of a proposal and an offering and include things that we've done in the past that I've forgotten we ever did.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. And you're a Gen Xer like me, and I
I am a Gen
completely
Xer, and
love that.
we are the rebellious generation. We are the ones who were. I love on social media. There's people our generation comedians who are starting to we were feral,
Yes.
right?
I have the shirt. I have the T-shirt. Raised on hose, water, and neglect.
Yes, right. Our parents were both at work. We came home. We were latchkey kids. We were fiercely
Yes.
independent. And
Mhm.
so we did bring much of the technology, right? We were around in the evolution and introduction of the internet, right? We
Yes.
were we were college age, high school to college age when all of that was happening.
Mhm.
And we adopt technology. We adapt and we make our lives work with it.
Yes.
Um, and so, we just, again, we get done.
Yeah, we do. We do. And I
That's
like
what
that
we
because
do. That's how we
yeah.
were wired and raised. We can't help it.
Mhm.
And really, we can't not do it. I don't know about you, Bonnie, but have you ever been somewhere and there's something going on and you go, if I go help that person do that one thing, everything's going to be so much better?
Yeah.
Can you prevent yourself from doing that one thing?
No,
Me either.
I sure can't.
Mm-mm.
I'm a helper. I'm a helper. And if it can make somebody's life easier or mine, I'm on it. That's great. No, I love that you have totally like what's the word I want to say? Like totally been open to what the reality is of today. Like AI is here to stay,
Mhm.
and we can use it or lose. I don't want to say it, but lose business, lose relevance, that kind of thing. So I think, and kind of circling it all together, age is great. I mean, it's a good benefit that we have being over a certain age, that we have the ability as Gen Xers, I'd say, to adopt things like AI to make us better because we know there are things we've forgotten. And you mentioned that, like, there are things in the past that we can't possibly remember, especially like women of I am of a certain age. And it just kind of escapes me in the Rolodex of my brain. But having AI is like my best day, and mine's called Pippa. Do you have a name for yours?
We're calling ours Jarvis.
Jarvis. That sounds like Jeeves, almost like you're like your butler. I love it.
Yeah, Jarvis.
That's
It's an Iron Man reference, right? But that's the gold
okay.
standard AI, right? That was it. And if we can
Love
get
it.
there,
You're
so
right.
Marvel, don't charge me on this one. But yeah, inside of our our studio in the office, we have Jarvis, and
I
he has
love
a
that. That's
fabulous British
amazing.
accent.
So does mine. Something about a good British accent to support you in your work during the day kind of lightens things up,
It
but
does. Yeah.
I digress. No, in delegation. So delegate to your elders and we still adopt it. We still embrace it. So we've got the tools that we need and I think it's great. So that's just kind of my point I wanted to make, that age doesn't matter, and those ads that say, here's training 40 or somethings how to use AI. I think we've already got it. Thanks, folks. um, but I'd like to know, when you started your business, maybe would you say 18 years ago? Um, and did you just start out as a freelancer, solopreneur?
Yes, I
You
had no
tried?
plan. So here's a golden gem for today.
Oh,
Here's
yes,
the
I
first
love it.
nugget. If you're
Yes.
thinking about starting a business, do not do it while you're having a temper tantrum.
Oh, smart.
Taking some time and thought, right, to understand what it is you want to go and do, how long you think it might take, and how much you think it might cost are really good things to pause and consider. So yes, I
Okay.
really did jump quickly with no plan. This was my first attempt at parachuting.
Yeah.
Fortunately, this scenario did not require an actual shoot, but I've done that and it's awesome.
Cool.
Have a
Nice.
plan. Have an idea of a plan. Please don't just go and do. Especially
Mm,
in this day and age where it is easier to sort of have, and I'm not a fan of the phrase side hustle,
right.
but we can juggle a couple of different things. There was a time and a place, and it wasn't far off from when I started my company, that often we had signed contracts that said we will only work for this company.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is far less prevalent today, although it does still exist, and especially in more senior roles in different states and different laws.
Sure.
But we have a lot more flexibility to play before we actually commit to the whole kit and caboodle.
Yes.
So please, please, please put a little thought and care into it,
Do some due
because
diligence
due
before you
diligence,
dive
it
into that.
is not easy.
It's not. I
It
I
will take at
understand.
least twice as long to get running as you think that it will, and it will cost you
Mm.
at least twice as much as you think that it will to do
And
all
it's
of
not
those
just
things.
monetary. It's not lots of cost.
Lots of cost, time, effort, money, 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 right? Depending on
Mm,
what it is that you're building and how you're doing it.
yeah.
So please
Mental
have some,
health.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a whole
put
nother
put some
ball of
care
wax.
into that. But
Yeah. That's a
advantages
good
that we
advice.
have today. We
Mhm.
have virtual assistants. I don't have to have an assistant where I'm paying a salary full time because I only have like 5 hours of work for a human being.
Right.
We
Right.
can get help sooner than I was able to, and I actually have been slow to adopt fractional help because I've been
Okay.
doing it for so long. I have a
Right.
team, right? My team goes
Mhm.
and does work, but I am the engine that runs the business.
Yep.
And wow, I need to not be that.
You need to what's the word I wanna say? You're the one that needs to feel what you set out to feel as an entrepreneur, so you need to feel the joy, the freedom, the time that get your time back, that, you went out to do this because you were done with corporate like I was. Um, um, yeah, I mean, that's something that I talk about a lot. Like, the whole reason you delegate to elevate is to not fill the white space in your calendar with something else. It's just
It's
like,
true.
if you've got somebody else you've delegated a task or something to, embrace that space. you know?
And there are going to be things as an entrepreneur and a business owner, as things grow, that you really don't want to let go of. And everybody
Yeah.
laughs when I tell this part of the story, because one of the things that I enjoy most is cutting invoices.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So here's my rationale. It is a
Mhm.
time in the week where I stop and I look at everything that we've accomplished. I see who's doing what, and I have the opportunity to pick up the phone, text, whatever is, however we communicate, and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, Bonnie, you had a really fabulous week. Great job. The client is really loving what you're doing." But because I'm looking at the invoices, I pause and think through those things. What did we do
Ooh,
to achieve, right? We're deliverable based billing. What did we do to achieve this? So invoices go out, and I get to talk with everybody and tell them how wonderful they are. And that is one of the things that gives me tremendous joy.
that's awesome. And that's just what I said. If it brings you joy, do it.
Yeah.
Don't delegate it, do it. I mean, there's things in my business I get joy from is social media is one of them. I mean, it's one of the things that I do. Could I delegate it? Absolutely. There are people that love it and live in it. But I mean, it's something I kind of enjoy doing, so I do it. Um, so that's oh my God, that's a massive golden nugget I definitely want to drop. I never thought about invoices being the telescope into what somebody else is doing and giving out to your team to your
And so
clients.
one
That's
of the
amazing.
things that my dad, who was an entrepreneur his whole life, always believed, celebrate every win. Because right at some point in time there's not going to be a win, there's going to be a loss, but if you've celebrated up until that point, the loss doesn't feel so bad, right? So, okay,
Right.
we've got an appointment with a potential new customer, or we had a great meeting. We have a little celebration. It doesn't mean that we're doing anything other than going, woohoo, we had a good meeting.
Yeah, I love
Or
that.
we submit the proposal, right? We get a signed contract. That one requires some celebration, right? That there's
Sure.
usually
Yeah,
adult
that's the
beverages, and
bell.
we
That's the
celebrate
cowbells
that.
ringing and all kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You get
Oh
new
my goodness.
business, woohoo!
Yeah.
But the invoices for me, that's been that trigger that always allows me that moment to stop and thank everybody for what they do to make all of it happen.
That's a
Could
great
somebody
takeaway.
else create the invoices and could I still have those conversations? Absolutely. And at
Mm,
some point, I will delegate that because for scale, it will be required.
right.
I get it. I'm holding on as long as I possibly can.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that is so true. Yeah, I mean, that's the creative way you think of things. So you kind of delegate the bookkeeping or the invoicing to yourself. You kind of delegate back to yourself, and that's kind of a broad way to look at it, but and to tie it back into delegation. But it certainly is because you're giving yourself joy. You're delegating your mind to get into the business a little deeper by looking at those invoices and thinking what you can do to build up your people. And I love that. So kudos to you.
Everybody, right? 18 years, everybody knows, right? Oh, Lisa's texting. It's Friday morning. We know what she's
She's gonna
doing.
tell me I did awesome this week. No, she's very predictable. No,
Well, it is, right?
that's
But there's a
awesome.
flow to it, right? And
Right?
and if I don't, then I sort of get, is everything okay?
Yeah. You
What's
gotta
going
keep your
on?
finger on the pulse of the
Right?
business as the leader for
And they
sure.
and they ping back and they're like, "Hey, haven't heard from you. It's Friday."
Oh,
Like,
that's cute.
little,
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
So how big of a team do you have?
The team flexes and scales for the engagements that we have. So we're anywhere
Okay.
from 4 to about 20 is sort of the space that we play in. And
Mhm.
my team is their strategic partners. And
Yeah.
so when I work on things for a given client, it allows me the opportunity to bring in the exact right people to solve their needs and their pain points, as opposed to a traditional consulting model where I might be giving them the person that I haven't been able to bill out for the last 6 months and I don't know what else to do with them. So I'm going to give them to you.
Yeah.
And so
Fresh eyes.
it's been a strategically curated approach. And we're also learning that we're looking to scale. And what that's going to mean for us is a change in that model. We will be
Yeah.
bringing on employees um, for this next wave of growth, which is just, it's
Awesome.
new and it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's great. No. And back to your intro when I read that off. I said today I hope she'll share with us the real story behind building a future proof business. So what exactly does future proof mean in general?
So for me, and what I mean by future proof in this is for those people who are entrepreneurs and maybe not solopreneurs, but those who have built a business that is meant to give them joy, is meant to give them some freedom. Future proofed means one thing. It means you can walk away from your business for 30 days and it will continue without you.
Yes.
So, right? It may
Plain and
not
simple.
grow. I mean, we want to
Right.
be really careful, right? It may not grow, but it will survive and it will sustain. And why is that important? When we're building our businesses and we're making that choice that we want to be entrepreneurs, we want freedom is the thing, right? That we're
Yes.
looking for freedom, control over ourselves.
Mhm.
And with that, how do we measure that? Well, the easiest way is that we can walk away and know that operations will operate, sales will sell, and that when things go wrong, there are escalation paths and people who we trust. We've hired good people to do good work and
Yes.
empowered them to do the right things for our clients and customers.
Yes.
And that is what future proofs a business.
I love it. Well, I feel good because you just helped edify for me that I have future proofed my business. I can't say that word, but I can mean it. Future proofed, Bonnie. Okay. I future proofed my business because I stepped away for 1 month last October and it was still here when I got back.
Mhm.
So that makes me feel good. So thank you for sharing that. That's amazing.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
then
And
beyond just being future proofed, right? Then you're
yeah.
growth ready and you can become
Ooh,
innovative and you
right.
can start to experiment and challenge those norms so that you can level up and do the next thing. So Bonnie, next time you can go
Ooh.
for 60 days.
Ooh. Sounds like a plan. I'll tell the hubs to get us booked. Yeah. Oh, I love that. No, that is exactly my goal in my business. So thank you for that. And it's like, at least I'm going in the right direction. And I hope people listening, it makes them feel like they have a path and they can get to future proof and then feeling and step away for a month maybe. And then if it works, they know they're ready for growth. That's a nice little dial to get to. I love
Yeah.
it. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, usually I ask for my guests to drop some golden nuggets or things at the end of our conversation, but I think we've already dropped a couple. But if there's any you can think of, let me be more specific. If there's any you can think of that is out there listening that you might give them some tips, tricks, or advice. If say they don't feel like they're good at delegating, they don't want to give something away like the books or whatever, the invoicing, what could you tell them? Is it okay? What can they do? What can they do to feel better about where they're at or where they want to be?
So we are each our own judge of what's acceptable for us. And like my invoicing, who knows when I'll give that up. But it is okay to delegate and we should. And one of the things that somebody once told me is if you are doing something in your business and you do not get joy, you do not like it, right? Those are the things that you delegate out to others because there are people out there who love doing them. In
Hmm.
my world, I despise prospecting and lead generation and
Yeah.
doing that business dev cycle. I am uncomfortable. Whether you believe it or not, I'm terribly shy. I'm very much an
Oh,
introvert, especially in a public, like in person interaction.
right.
So having people around me who will do those things. I used to say I suck at sales.
It's more than that. Yeah.
It's not that. 18 years, we wouldn't exist if I sucked at it.
Right.
But I dislike very much the first half of the sales cycle. I love having conversations with potential clients when we know what their pain point is, when we
Yeah.
can design the solution and I can close the sale.
Hmm.
Delegate what you don't do well or what you don't enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Can't do it all at once, but pick and choose along the way. In my world, I podcast also, and I love
Yeah.
everything about it. But
Same.
the editing and putting it all together and packaging it, getting it out, it takes time, effort, and energy. And I don't have the attention span to do it anymore, even though I
Yeah.
hold a degree in video production.
Oh, wow.
I have
Okay.
somebody who does the podcast production. They're better at it, they're faster at it, and it's just easier.
Yep. Oh, that's so true. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, and I like to say that you could just dabble in delegation if you're new to it, dabble. Start to hand things off that you don't enjoy doing or you don't feel like you're good at or you need a bunch of training before you can actually produce something good. So, and if you're just starting out like you said, if you did your due diligence, you'll know almost from the get what you can try, but you're not going to be that good at. So maybe plan for that. This is something I know I'm going to hand off in the future when I want to get there and you are the deciding person in your business, right? If you want to keep it, keep it. If you don't, you don't. Um, and you decide when and where that happens. It depends on
Absolutely.
what you want and what you need. So, oh my gosh, well, this is like wonderful information today. And thank you for being here. Like, I love everything you've shared. You've given me some great golden nuggets to take back to my own desk. And I really appreciate you spending time with me today. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know I did. I hope you'll join us again for our next podcast episode, and you will keep delegating to elevating. So, you know what? You can get beep done. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Lisa. That's it for today's episode of Delegate to Elevate, Get Done. Be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen. And if this episode gave you a golden nugget or two, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Your review may even be featured in a future D2E listener shout out. Head over to delegate to elevatepodcast.com. That's with the number 2 to grab Bonnie's free Delegate to Elevate growth roadmap. Explore past episodes and join us next time for more real conversations about getting done.